welcome everybody here today to the October Lunch and Learn, sponsored by and presented by Cindy Bruton, Heather Ward, at Christian Care Center of Catawba. And before we get started, let's have some informal introductions. We'll start right here with Payson.
Taylor with the Edville Verizon store and Sport Fitness 24/7 gym.
Sharon Adams, Caldwell Medical Center.
Everybody knows who I am.
With your
myself.
mouth full. We always plan that. Would you stop behind the camera?
Yes, I am.
Bayview Properties.
Allison Van Hooser, Farmers Bank in Princeton.
Jody Norwood with the Herald Ledger.
Greta Barker with the Herald Ledger. Francis Galactus, just nobody.
Francis will be 90 years old on Sunday.
Herald Ledger.
Yeah.
I'm Cindy Riley with WCCK, but used to be with the Herald Ledger.
Joanne Bogle, Regional Glass. Sue Huntsman, Herald Ledger. Heather Ward, Christian Care.
Cindy Bruton.
Good. Thank you, everyone. Without further ado, let's go. Christian Care Center of Catawba.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day and enjoying this beautiful weather. As we said, I'm Cindy, and most of you probably know me or have seen me around lately, and this is Heather Ward. I'm going to let Heather tell you a little bit about herself first, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then we're going to tell you about Christian Care Center.
Well, I'm Heather Ward. I've been in Christian Care, formerly Hilltop, probably for about 12 years total. I was dietary manager for 10 years. I've been marketing and admissions for the last couple of years. I love it. My grandmother's there. My daughters work there in the business office. My sister's been the activity director probably for 22 years. I have a niece that works there now, so. It's just always been like a second
It's a
home.
family affair.
It is, it's always been like a second home to me, and I love it. I feel like a lot of people have the idea of a nursing home, it's just a place to go, you know, your last stop, a place to die. We've always just tried to be very active in the community, bring people in. We just want them to be happy, and we have a lot of people now that they're there for rehab and they go home. It's not necessarily your last stop. And I mean, I just love working there.
I didn't pay her extra to
No,
say that, though.
I didn't know for sure what we were gonna say.
While we were reading, I said, why don't you just get up here with me? We did bring some photographs with us so that you could see sort of what we do throughout the day. Yesterday, we went over to the Lyon County Elementary. We do something that's called G to G with Lyon County Elementary here with the 3rd grade class, and here's some photographs of that. And you've been over there and photographed that while they were there. And let me just kind of tell you a little bit about that program and kind of lead into what I was going to say about yesterday. We'll pass this around, you can see that as I'm talking. G to G stands for Generation to Generation. And what our goal is, and something I'd like to do, I've been there almost 5 years now, and this is our 4th group that we've done with the 3rd grade classes there. And I believe the first group is in the 8th or 9th grade now. And I actually have thought about trying to sit down and being able to talk with some of those students and find out how we were able to affect them in their idea and in their development of their concept of aging and about nursing homes. That, I believe, was the group that, as I was touring them through the facility, one of the little boys was behind me walking through the facility, and he was like, oh man, when I grow up, I want to live in a nursing home. And you know, that was just such the biggest compliment for us, because we don't want children to be scared. We would like to break the stereotypes of what nursing homes are all about, and that's what Generation to Generation is about. We do go into the school. First thing that we do, you'll see in those pictures, I believe there's some photographs of the children doing some manipulative type things. We put Vaseline on their glasses, not their glasses, we take glasses, we put Vaseline on it to distort their vision. We put cotton balls in their ears to kind of help them understand that problems of being hard of hearing. We tape their hands to simulate contractures. We'll tape up their arms. There's been a few times I've asked them, I might pick one child and ask them the entire time to walk for, maybe 10, 15 minutes as we're doing this one activity, walk around stooped over and not stand up the whole time. And then we read a little storybook about a little boy who lives next door to a nursing home and how he helps Miss Nancy find her memory. So we talk about what happens as we age, and that sometimes we lose our memories, and those things are very important. And then we talk about aging, and we also talk about the things that we can do now and that they can begin to do now to prevent premature aging. Of course, we don't use big words with them. And then we take one class at a time. We spend an entire month with them. We do that one week. The next week, which is what I did yesterday, we took a resident over, and the classroom teacher actually incorporates what we're doing in their curriculum during that month. So the students, before we got there with the resident yesterday, had prepared interview cards. So they begin learning interview skills and how to ask a question and what kinds of questions are appropriate. We take a resident, the resident is in front of the class, and we take turns, and they ask the questions that they have previously prepared and interview the resident. And then next week, the same group will come to our facility, and we'll spend all day with them. They get there about 9:30 or 10, and we start out with an activity with them, with the resident. We pair them up with a resident, so it's intergenerational. And then we tour them throughout the facility. They get to go into a resident's room. Of course, we have to ask permission first. Whoever the resident is that we've taken for the interview, they always are curious about that person's room. So we usually get to show them that. We take them into the kitchen. They see the inside of the kitchen. They wear hairnets, and they think that's the coolest thing ever, is to wear the hairnets. And then we take them to the laundry, and they see the big washers and dryers. And then after that, we play bingo with them, and we have lunch, and if the weather's permitting, we let them do wheelchair races. And word is out in the school that when they get to the age of doing G to G, they get to come do wheelchair races. And that's the biggest thing they always ask us about that. And then we conclude that program for the year. Each class, there's 3 groups, each class then writes an essay. Each student writes an essay about what they've learned and how it has affected them in some way on their level. And then last year we allowed the residents to read those. I kind of narrow it down. We gave 4 or 5 from each group to the residents, a group of residents. They chose the winners. And then we go to the school and present them with prizes. And most of the time, I think you've always done that for us and been able to print that in the paper to give us some exposure on that program. But that's just one example of the things that we do that are different. I'm working on a billboard. We started working on that. You can see our billboard on the road there. But we're going to revise that just a little bit. And in the paper, a lot of times we run the slogan of not your average nursing home, not your average whatever it is that you may be needing, because that is our goal at Christian Care, is not to just be your average nursing home. We want to do things like G to G. We've recently been able to start offering this program. And this is called NEMA therapy, and it's different from art therapy. Okay. I honestly don't know how it's different from art therapy. It looks like art therapy to me. It's a lot of fun, but there is a lady, Minnie Prowl, who comes in, and she does art. She does these paintings with the residents. And when you see someone that has been, is basically incapable of meeting any of their activities of daily living, they have to be fed, they have to be changed, they have to be turned, but they can sit down in front of a canvas and produce what you're about to say. I can hardly tell you about it without crying, because it is absolutely one of the greatest programs we've ever found out there. It is, and then to see the looks on their faces that they've been able to produce something like that is beyond words. Recently, we had the Art Guild in Princeton come. There were probably, 4 or 5 volunteers, artists in the local area that came and volunteered of their time and their resources and worked one-on-one with the residents to produce the painting. So we're working on doing an art show, displaying our paintings in the facility, as well as finding some places in the community where we can exhibit our paintings. And we think we've got some pretty good artists. So
And they think they're very good.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I will tell you, I will tell you one story. You know, we have a resident who's very young. He cannot provide, you know, for any of his needs at all. He was able to do a painting, and it was around Mother's Day, and we saved that painting and gave that to his mother for Mother's Day, and, I mean, that's priceless. You just can't put a price tag on that. Another thing, let's see, the boat trip. And I certainly want to give credit where credit's due, because we could not provide these programs and be not your average nursing home if people in the community weren't willing to participate and do these things with us. This is Noel Dillard, yeah, and he is with, you may have seen this truck, his boat around, he's with the Disabled Veterans Organization, and he has developed or built or whatever, implemented, revised the boat, where the front of the boat actually folds out and goes out into a wheelchair ramp, and we've launched off down by Hubie's and been able to get wheelchair residents on a boat. This young lady right here had never taken a boat ride before. She's been disabled since she was around the 4th grade. She'd never had that opportunity before. We had a gentleman who wasn't feeling real well. He got to feeling a little bit better, and he was able to go out with us that day, and it wasn't long after that he was sick, and that's the last thing that he was able to do and enjoy. And just to be out there with them, and one gentleman said, I never thought I'd be able to be on a boat again. You know, and I'm a boater myself. And, you know, when I'm at that age and I think that I may not ever be able to be on a boat again, you can almost want to, you know, just give up. But to be able to provide these kinds of things for people, because just because we live in a nursing home doesn't mean that we want to stop living. And that's exactly what we try to do. It's an able
That
to.
gentleman from Grand Rivers is,
Yes,
I think so.
yeah, it's handy capable.
Yeah.
that's it, Capable Guide Services.
Guide service.
Mhm.
His mother or friend,
Friend.
okay, good friends at our facility.
Mhm. And he does have it fixed where, and we've not done this yet, we'll probably wait and do this in the spring, but he has it fixed where they can fish. We've not actually done the fishing, we just kind of took them out for rides, but where they can't use their hands to reel it in, there's a way that he's rigged to be able to do it with their chin and be able to reel in the fish like that and be able to fish.
And he does it by donation only.
Yeah, he doesn't charge us, we just give him a donation, yes. So that's just an example of the things that we try to do in the facility. We do take outings. Here's some photographs of where we took some of them to the Quilt Museum in Paducah. We have special events too, and Greta and Jody can tell you, we're always calling them saying, hey, can you come over and take some photographs for us or run this article? Sometimes I feel like I bug y'all to death, but you've always been so gracious to work with us, and we love the opportunity to do that. We do offer speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy as well. Along with the speech therapy, we do have someone that will come and do an on-site swallow study if that needs to be done. Anything that's in-depth, we'd still have to send out to the hospital, but we're capable of doing on-site swallow studies. We can do on-site ultrasounds and other types of x-rays. We have a dentist that comes in, we have a podiatrist, eye care, we have psychiatry services on site as well.
And this is one of our little ladies that got to graduate and go home.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so tickled. We have a little graduation party when they finish therapy and get to go home. And that's an encouragement when they know that others have come and graduated and gone home. And that's, you know, to tell them, you know, you've got to participate in therapy, because when you're there and you're sick, you don't feel like working in therapy, and it's hard. But that's such an incentive that they know that that's their way home.
And our therapists will go out to their home and do a home assessment to see exactly what they need to work on, and so that they can see the environment and know what they're going to be going home to, and then we'll coordinate their program, their rehab program, with what they're going to need at home. So thank you for bringing that up. let me look at my list real quick. You can like us on Facebook. We do try to stay very active in that and posting pictures on Facebook. We have a website. Let's see, we do a lot of holiday plans. We have family Thanksgiving dinner every year and a Christmas dinner every year. And then a payer source. We do accept Medicaid, Medicare, and private insurance, as well as private pay and hospice. We provide hospice services as well. We will, just so that you know, as far as as you're out and about in the community, we really try to think out of the box as far as being involved in the community. Like I was telling you about the G2G program, that's one avenue that we try to serve the school system, but at the same time, we also partner with the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program. Tracy Young coordinates that, and there's been times we've done pancake breakfast, we've done pampering days for those grandparents, have them come over to the facility, massages and painting their nails and doing their hair and their makeup and providing lunch for them. We help with another organization called Women Helping Women, and that's through the Methodist Church. Anything, the VFW, we'll take some snacks over there as they play their bingo nights and that sort of thing. Anything that we can do as a service. We are a Christian organization, and we feel that our calling is to serve our residents, but at the same time to serve our community, and we want to be here for the community. Heather's in Princeton, and she's very active in the area. I don't live here. I feel like I live here. I'm here more than I am at home. I live in Paris, Tennessee. But I'm very involved in the HR ministries, and we give back to the community. So anytime you know of a need, maybe somebody needs a speaker, something that we can do to provide snacks like the VFW or something of that nature, that bring it to us. We're always open for ideas and how we can better serve our community, along with you here at the Chamber and any other organization in the community. Let's see.
Let's talk about the jewelry.
Oh, yeah, our jewelry. Here, we'll let Heather be our model. These are actually made by our residents. When you come into our front door, on the left side, there is a glass case, display case, and the residents make all the jewelry. And the history behind that is a few years ago when we were going to do our tent revival, and we haven't done that in a couple of years. We'd like to be able to do that again, but we were trying to raise money. I don't know if you remember that we had Jason Crabb. He's a gospel artist, and it was a little costly to bring him in. And some of our little residents, they kind of got their heads together, and they started talking about, well, how can we help, with the money with this? And so they thought of making necklaces and bracelets, but at the time, they didn't know how to do that. And so they started out by, like the little plastic beads that a lot of people use in Bible school and that sort of thing with the kids. That's where we started from. And they started making those and selling those. And then it just really evolved into this. And they learned how to actually do jewelry. And we had a lady that came in, and she had the tools, and she taught them all how to do it. And now they're pretty self-sufficient. They make all the jewelry in the display case, and we sell it. And they have a fund, and they will contribute to different things going on in the facility. If there's, I think with Tent Revival, they still wanted to donate to that. And then they collect their money, and once it's at a certain level, they divide it up between them, and we take them out to eat, and we take them shopping, and they love spending their money that they've worked for and that they created a product to sell. Yeah, every penny of it goes back to
I would
Oh,
say they've probably made $12,000 in the last several years.
12,000 or 1,200?
No, I'd say about 12, because they paid for,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's right.
I'd say probably about $12,000.
Yes. We have residents that will take it to take their jewelry to doctor's appointments and sell it to the staff there.
They are motivated.
They take orders and come back, and anything that you've seen somewhere that you might like, that you would like to, replicate, just let us know. The little ankle bracelets, boot bracelets that are worn now over boots, they make those. So come shopping at Christian Care Center and look at our jewelry and know that all the funds go right back into the residence fund. We don't touch that for anything that has anything to do with Christian Care. It's a separate fund altogether, but it is something that gets them motivated and gives them something to do. And what I think is absolutely so precious and that I love about this facility is when we have a new resident and they know that, especially a female resident, they know that somebody's moving in, they'll make a little bracelet or a necklace or something for that person, and then they'll go and give that to that resident and welcome them and just kind of bring them into their circle. It's just precious to watch the interactions of the residents and how they rally around each other and take care of each other, and it just is their own community. So anyway, thank you. I haven't bored you with our details. We're just passionate about what we do, and thank you for the support that all of you give us in our facility. So, oh wait, we got to draw some names. I know you're just waiting.
Tell you what, let's do. We mixed up. We was mixed up there a little bit first, so the last one, the little man won't be right there at the top. And then, well, they don't shake up very well, we kind of put them in. My name's not in there. You want me to draw, or you gonna draw? You draw.
I'll draw. You put your name in.
No. Put it in.
No.
I'll win a necklace. We already discussed that. Listen, I was going to, and I forgot this, when I was going to introduce Cindy, I was going to tell you that she would be both informational and entertaining. Because I've been there and I've seen that. I know how you are.
All right, our first winner is Mr. Jim.
Woo!
And we're
Okay.
gonna let Mr. Jim pick between a t-shirt or a stadium chair.
I'll take a t-shirt,
All right, I have
Thank you.
a medium, an extra large, and
extra large.
okay, I think that's this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
XL, right there.
All right, we have, this is medium, and then this one is that's a 2X. Somebody might like that for a sleep shirt. All right.
I'll go for it again.
You can't leave yet, you're not off the clock. Okay, our next one is Allison?
Well, that's probably,
Yeah.
what's it gonna be, Allison?
I'll take a stadium chair.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, moving on down the line.
Sheriff.
What would it be? Hey, sure, come up here and get it. Pick out the one you want.
I go with the 2X.
There you go.
Greta. All right, one last item.
That sounds great, thank you.
Cindy Riley.
Riley.
Last but not least.
And if you want to trade in like a medium instead of that one, I can get, we've got some mediums at the facility, and I can, get it.
That is nice. Probably I've been that bad.
Probably.
Or you can drop by the facility.
Yeah, there you go, and I'll swap it out. You can pick out what you want. Absolutely, yeah, come see us. Or if you don't, between now and then, I'll bring you another one for the next luncheon. All right.
Is that it?
I'm gonna do a necklace. I'm gonna, did you put my cup up? All right. All right, Taylor Smith.
Hey, he's coming good.
Christmas is coming.
He's got a while.
It's coming. Alex Big. doing thing these days.
Yeah.
What y'all think, girls? Al?
You see anything in my eye?
Thank you very much, ladies. You know, and I don't think I have to remind anybody here how blessed we are to have facilities around the country, really, like Christian Care. Because I want to take you back to the good old days. Y'all remember everybody talking about the good old days? And I want to take you back about 60 years when I was 6 years old, and I remember it like yesterday. And that's going to what was then a rest home or an old folks home to see my grandmother. And it was literally in somebody's house. And no regulation. It was not a good experience. I still remember it today. But you know, it's just such a blessing that we have. And we live today in the 21st century. And we have opportunities like we have with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Francis, you want to talk to us a little bit about the coat drive?
I will. You want me to come up there?
Sure, or wherever, sit right there. Whatever you'd like to do. The floor is yours.
Oh, I'll just stand back here.
Okay.
Everybody can see me. I didn't know I was gonna do this. I don't have any props. Didn't even have any to bring, if you want the truth. As most of you know, I do the Empty Stocking Fund. I've done it for 40-some years. I got into it by accident. The JCs were disbanded here, and they had run a little program called the Empty Stocking. It bought toys for children at Christmas time only. And owning the newspaper, and newspaper people having all this spare time, they asked me, would I take it over? And I had $30 to work with that first Christmas. But people in the community gave me extra money. Since then, I have run it each year. We're not affiliated with any organization. The Lions Club does help me some. But long about, I guess, 15 or 20 years ago, a man out in the country died that I did not know real well. But he left me money in his will. And I put that out at interest, and I've been using that all these years. But its interest isn't what it used to be, so it's getting slim, you know. Then it evolved into coats. I worked with Teresa and Nancy up at Family Services. They needed coats. So we did coats for a while. Then that got so bad, so many we had to have, that I asked the Chamber of Commerce 3 or 4 years ago to help me, and they did. They got 400 that year. If you remember, Quinn Sutton got up on top of the McDonald's and didn't come down until he got that. But the last 3 years, I haven't had any help. And so I've talked to Tom and Farrell about it, and we came up, or they came up with the idea of putting drop boxes at Ace Hardware and at Sherway Store and at the Herald Ledger. And that's what we're going to do. And ask people in the community to just bring a new coat or a slightly used, no adult coats, please. And we will have those boxes out Monday, I would say, wouldn't you?
And also people can donate cash or
They
checks.
can donate cash at any of these 3 places.
Which Frances likes because she can get discounts on the coats if she buys them herself.
The sizes, we start at size 5 and go through 18. Boys and girls coats. And we're trying to get the word out. You did put it on Facebook, didn't you?
Farrell's going to take care of it. Farrell.
Yeah, I can talk about that. What we're going to do as the chamber is strictly publicity for Francis and the coat drive, but we'll put out some emails, and we'll put it on our website, we'll put it on Facebook, and we'll create a thing called what? GoFundMe, is that what we call it? Yeah. And where people can easily, Francis, donate $20 or whatever they want to in cash in the middle of the night. That's just like me. I'm probably going to give you $20 for it. I'm going to go buy a coat and bring it and put it in a drop box. And I think there'll be a lot of people like that. So we can raise cash for you like that. And it'll be a good service to the community that the chamber can provide And it'd be also good publicity for us to do that. But, you know, we're happy to do it, and it's not something that's going to cost the chamber at all. It's just a good service to the community and good publicity for us.
And if we get too many, which we have done, like the time that they did the 400 coats, Nancy and Teresa just put those back and save them until the next year. And even last year, we had some of those 400 coats left. But I was up there this week, I had to buy 32 pairs of tennis shoes. And they said they were running low on coats. But they had maybe just a few that had to have coats right now. So I can take care of those coats. It won't be over 8.
Well, we should be able to get everything kicked off Monday or early next week. And we're meeting with you Monday
Monday.
morning at the newspaper to talk about it, get a story out in the newspaper.
9:30. And the art department up at school has made our signs. I'm on my way up there now to pick those up.
Good. Let's see, we've got those three places now. Debbie at Buchanan's asked me about even their place. Buchanan's Design Center, Buchanan's Floor, you know. And they'd be very happy to have a drop box there. If we
Okay.
want to put another one together,
Okay.
that'd be fine.
Mhm. Well, I can get another sign.
Yeah.
I can get a poster board
Yeah.
to make 2 or 3 more if we need them.
And we'll go ahead, I'll talk to them, but we can list at least 4 places that drop
Okay.
boxes.
That's
And
good.
then we'll provide several different methods for people to donate cash, if that's what they'd like to do. Okay?
And if somebody asks, can they bring used coats, we can use the used coats, but we do want them to be clean when we bring them. We don't have the money to have them dry clean. Now Paducah, I think some cleaners down there does all their cleaning of the used coats free, but we don't have that.
All right. Well, we'll get things going here. Is there any particular distribution date that you're looking at, or are you just going to distribute them as you get the codes? How are you going to do that?
Did it what?
A distribution date, in other words, when are you going to hand the codes out, or is there a particular date for that, or just as you get
I'd
them?
like to have them by the week after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
because it's usually getting pretty cold by
Pretty
that
chilly.
time.
Waiting for a bus, Thanksgiving week is pretty chilly.
It's usually pretty chilly, maybe a little snowy. Thank you all for having me.
You're welcome. Join us anytime. I got your phone number. I know what it is. 2268. One less than you.
680, you know, he's got my number.
Wonder why?
Before you leave, I was going to mention Frances is having a big party next door on Sunday to celebrate her 90th birthday, and everybody in town's invited, no gifts.
Everybody's invited,
Yeah,
I'll be
90. Busiest person I know, you know. She's rushing out of here. Hey, yeah.
And the belly dancers.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Back.